This tutorial will provide a visual overview of the SAFE Program portal. Please reference the user guide for more information about the SAFE Program portal. The user guide, an FAQ document, and all SAFE documents can be found on the Treasury website. To access the SAFE Program portal, you must be an authorized user. To request to become an authorized user, complete the Authorized Representative form and email the completed form to safe.treasury@treasury.alabama.gov. You will receive a welcome email informing you that you have been authorized to access the SAFE Program portal. Click the unique link provided in the email. You will then be prompted to create a new password. Upon successfully creating the password, you will be directed to the home page of the portal. If you are a current user, visit the SAFE Program portal link and enter your SAFE username and password. Remember, your SAFE username is the email address associated with your account. A link is available on the login page to reset your forgotten password. Please remember to save the link to the SAFE portal. For testing purposes, we will use SAFE Bank as the QPD and Test Custodian as the custodian. Across the top of the homepage screen, you will find tabs that navigate to different areas of interest in the portal. Each tab is described in the user guide, but we'll recap them here. The homepage contains a listing of the QPDs for which you serve as the custodian, a section for announcements, and the transaction tracker. The transaction tracker box provides you with a count of pending receipt and pending transfers, both of which require action to be taken by your team. Pending receipts shows those pledge requests that require you to attach a pledge receipt. Pending transfers is only active if one of the associated QPDs has transferred securities to or from you as a custodian. Pending receipt and pending transfers are separate functions. Clicking on either of these buttons will take you to the Tracker tab. The Tracker tab has two sub-tabs, Tracker and Transfers. Tracker is the default tab, as you will use this tab most frequently. The Tracker table shows you all of your outstanding pledge receipt requests for all associated QPDs. The table shows the transaction status, transaction type, action date, QSIP, QPD, original par value, and the responsible party for the next action needed. The Tracker table can be organized by any column data point by clicking on the down arrow in the selected column. Completed transactions will remain on this tab for one business day before being moved to the History tab. You, SAFE, and your associated QPD will have access to view the workflow of each transaction. Click on a QSIP to view the transaction details and an event log of the action taken with the date and name of the user who took the action. More about the Tracker later. The History tab displays completed, canceled, and denied transactions in perpetuity. The table will show the transaction status, transaction type, original par value, action date, QSIP, and QPD. Click on a QSIP to view transaction details and the event log. The Users tab displays all of the users with access to the SAFE Program portal. If you need to add, change, replace users, complete and email the Authorized Representative form to SAFE. SAFE Contacts will display the contacts for the SAFE program at the State Treasurer's Office. Refer to this list for any policy or procedure questions you may have for the SAFE Program portal. The Documents tab is where you'll find documents, agreements, and forms pertaining to the SAFE program. This will also include all of your executed agreement documents with SAFE. Let's go back to the transaction tracker. All transactions will be considered on the same day as of 5 p.m. each business day. Any transaction initiated after 5 p.m. will be processed on the following business day. On the home page of Test Custodian, you will see a number of outstanding securities requiring you, as the custodian, to attach a pledge receipt. QPD SAFE Bank has initiated a pledge transaction that is now available for the custodian to attach a pledge receipt. We will select the QSIP. Next, you will upload a PDF of the pledge receipt. You can also view the receipt prior to submitting. Note the certification message and select Submit to complete your step of the request. Once the receipt is attached, the transaction status changes to pending approval and is assigned to Safe for approval. You can monitor the transaction in the tracker until complete. Remember, a security is not considered pledged until the receipt has been attached and approved by Safe. It is important to your QPD that you attach receipts the same day as the QPD pledges the security if possible. At 5 p.m. each business day, custodians will receive an email listing any outstanding pledge transactions that require you to attach a pledge receipt. If a custodian fails to attach a pledge receipt within 2 business days, the transaction will automatically be canceled with the Safe notification email sent to the QPD and the custodian. This pledge process will then have to be initiated again. After a QPD has initiated withdrawal in the portal, Safe is responsible to take the next action. While the custodian is not required to act, they should monitor the progress of the withdrawal and update their internal system once the withdrawal is reviewed and completed to release the pledged security. If allowed by the custodian, a partial withdrawal can be initiated by an associated QPD, in this case, Safe Bank. Following the submission by the QPD, the transaction is assigned to Safe for review and approval of the withdrawn amount. Once approved by Safe, the transaction is assigned to the custodian. The custodian will then attach a receipt for the original par value of the security that is remaining to be pledged. The last step in the workflow is the transaction is assigned to Safe for approval. Remember, the remaining security will not be considered pledged until you have attached the pledge receipt and it is approved by Safe. It is the option of the custodian to allow its QPD to make partial withdrawals, as the custodian must attach the pledge receipt for the remaining security pledged. Transactions can be canceled by a QPD or a custodian user and denied by a Safe user when the transactions are in a certain status. To cancel a transaction, navigate to the Tracker tab and select the transaction you wish to cancel. When a transaction is canceled or denied after being submitted, a reason must be typed in the text box by the person canceling the transaction. If a custodian fails to attach a receipt within 2 business days, the transaction will be automatically canceled. A Safe notification email will be sent to both the QPD and the custodian. A QPD may choose to add a custodian or transfer some or all of their pledged securities to another custodian. If a QPD chooses to transfer pledged securities from one custodian to another, additional actions and communication are required. Contact Safe for more information. The custodian receiving the securities must attach receipts for each of the securities transferred. These transactions are listed under the Transaction Tracker sub-tab Pending Transfers. If action is required by the custodian, the number of securities requiring receipts will be counted in the Pending Transfers button on the home page. The custodian must select each transfer and attach a pledge receipt. Remember that a security is not considered pledged until the receipt is attached by the custodian and approved by Safe. It is important that the transfer is completed in 1 day so that the QPD is not underpledged. Safe may limit the number of securities to be transferred in 1 day to ensure that every transaction is completed same day. For the custodian that is transferring securities, an email is received listing all of the securities transferred when the transfer is initiated. A second email is received once the transfer is complete. The custodian should update its records accordingly. The custodian can monitor the transaction status under the Pending Transfer button. Additional information regarding transfer of securities is in the user guide. This tutorial has covered the core functionality of the Safe program portal. Please email Safe at safe.treasury@treasury.alabama.gov with any questions.